Welcome back to another episode of Life with Your Dog. I'm your host, Panos, and today I will be recording from my car studio. Times have been a little bit busy these days, so I've been not really effective with getting into the studio at the moment. But today we're going to be talking all about puppy biting, puppy mouthing, and teething related issues. So it's a very common issue that I see with a lot of my puppy client owners. And what we need to do is discuss it in full so we can make sure that we're talking about how what is biting, why are they doing it, how do we remedy it, and how do we manage it. So biting, if biting is so common, and the reason why it's so common is because puppies are teething and they use their mouth like we use our hands. So if you have a whole bunch of puppies hanging out together, litter mates, etc., they're going to be biting each other and hanging out and biting each other's ears, and that's how they engage with each other. So when they start doing that to us, they're just trying to interact and to make a fun game out of it. So they're not trying to, most of the time, they're not trying to be malice or aggressive. They're doing it because it's their way of engagement. So how do we manage it? We talk about management, always number one, before we get into anything. And if it is true puppy mouthing and they're biting for play, first and foremost, we want to redirect it. Redirecting with a tug toy, making sure your tug toy for a small puppy is a soft toy. So what I like to do is get like an old towel, cut thin strips, 3 strips out of the towel, and plait your own tug toys. And that way there, the tug is nice and soft so the puppy can get a good grip on it. And also you don't want it to be one of those tug toys you buy from the store where they're really hard rope, where the puppy can't get a good grip on it, so they don't find it fun. So they come back to your pant leg instead. But also, with a lot of those rope tug toys, there's so many little tiny thin, the threads in it. So when your puppy's canine goes into it and you pull it really hard, you may hurt them, or you may even rip a tooth out, and then they're not going to find that game very exciting and enriching. So then they're going to avoid it. So you want to make sure that redirecting it instead of trying to correct them, or you can ignore them for sure, but then you're going to have a lot of ripped clothes and you're going to have broken skin. And we know that puppies' teeth are needle teeth, and normally at around 6 months old, generally is when adult teeth come through. So at this stage, get your little tug toy that you make or that you've got already and put it on a rope so you can start waving it around the ground. And the fact that you move it real quick on the ground while it's on the rope, it moves like it's a little prey item. So then they are more encouraged to chase it and to bite it. And if you don't have a rope on it, you've got to bend over and be playing like that. Where if you have the rope on it and it's only about 1 meter long, then you can have it wrapped around your arm. So while you walk around the house, instead of chasing your feet, it can chase a tug toy instead. Now that's not going to stop it, but you're going to manage it. You're going to redirect it because he's going to bite anyway. So give him something you want him to bite. If you're not in the mood to do any of redirecting, then put your puppy away. Or if it's getting too much and your pup's gone too crazy, back in the pen or into the backyard, just so you can maintain your own sanity and so you don't start resenting your puppy. And also to show them that I'm not like a massive fan of time out, but there are certainly times where your puppy may lose privilege of being out of its pen if it's going to get too wild. But redirecting it is important because we're acknowledging the fact that it's going to happen. It has to happen. So you may as well get on top of it by controlling it that way. Teething is important. Teething is part of a puppy's journey. They need to put their teeth on things, and the more that they bite hard objects, the more that they can align their teeth again. They can align those adult teeth, from coming through. So it's a necessary part of their development. We just don't want them to be teething on the furniture and things that we like, couches and table legs and all these sort of things, or the carpet. And so giving them lots of enrichment, Kong toys filled with food, toys that make little noise, or plastic bottle with food in it. Sometimes with bigger, larger puppies, we give them like branches or like palm tree branches they can mess around with. Anything that your puppy's swallowing and ingesting and it's a foreign object, then these sort of enrichment games are not good for them. But most of the time they don't swallow those inanimate objects, so that could be really good. Also, I would say when it comes to teething, you may want to discourage it. So don't leave your puppy unattended inside of your house or inside of the room. You're going to go have a shower, go to the bathroom, or go out for an hour or so. Always, your puppy needs to be inside of some sort of pen, in its crate, or in the backyard where it's secure. And puppy-proof your house. Puppy-proofing means that you don't leave things that you like don't leave your shoes on the ground because your puppy's going to go and destroy them. Puppy-proofing is making sure that they're safe and that we're not setting them up for failure. Also, you may want to discourage some biting by putting deterrents on, like the table's legs, for example. So you can put there's different sprays you can buy from the pet store. You can put that on there, and that will maybe discourage them from doing that. Or I found this to be handy, and you can do it if you're willing to. And I haven't found it to be dangerous for any puppies, but a little bit of Vicks. And people that are outside of Australia may not know what Vicks is. It's like a rub you put on your, it's kind of like a DP. It's not very DP, but it's a hot heat sort of gel that you put on your chest when you're sick and helps you with, it's like a mentholy sort of flavor. But the thing about Vicks is that it's like petroleum jelly based, so it sticks on the surface for a very long time. Some people can put like vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or like lemon on these surfaces. Some pups would just lick it up. They like it. Other pups will be very deterred from it. So finding something that you can put on these things so then you can discourage them from doing it can also be another option when it comes to biting other things than ourselves. Don't put Vicks in your own hands and discouraging them, because then you may touch your own face or touch your puppy's eyes, and then their stuff's no good. It's more for like putting it on that chair leg, so when they go to sniff it, just sniffing it, the pup's like, whoa, that's way too strong, and they leave it alone, or they put their tongue on it once and they're like, damn, that sucks. I'm not a massive fan of giving advice of punishing a puppy's behavior, because they're still young, they're puppies, and if you do it incorrectly, you're going to create fear in your dog when you're a young pup, and they're just not going to trust you. So you've got to be very reserved about how you choose to correct or punish a behavior. One way that I would say, let's just say your puppy's consistently biting your fingers super hard and it's breaking skin, and you try to redirect it, but it doesn't work. One thing that's really important is that when they go to bite your skin, the more you move back and flinch, the more that they find it exciting and engaging to go. So if you got hands of steel and you can just kind of let them ignore it, then over time they don't find it exciting. But the truth is that that's not always the case, and you guys may, new puppy owners are still getting used to the whole journey of having pups. So it may not be a skill that you've developed. And also your skin's soft. We've got like the softest skin in the animal world, so it does hurt when they come to bite us. We don't have a protective fur coat over us. So you can discourage it by sometimes, again, doing this sparingly, is when your puppy goes to bite up onto your hands, what you could do is, and again, do this with being always calm and just no emotion. As soon as the puppy starts to bite up onto your fingers, you can shove your finger, like the bar of your finger, into their jaw, like to the base of their jaw, where the back teeth meet. Hold it there, and then with your thumb, just kind of a little bit of pressure, and you're basically clamping their mouth onto your finger, and they're like, and they find it really uncomfortable. The moment you feel that they're pulling back, you let go. That can show them that if you're going to put your teeth on my fingers in that nature, then something undesirable will follow it. And that way that could really discourage them. Sometimes a little, like if they're biting up on your pants, and a quick little poke to the side of their ribs and just walking into their space and then further redirecting it can just snap them out of it, and then just go, hey, knock it off, stop biting me, bite something else that I want you to bite. If you have kids or young people or people that are really nervous around puppies, have that puppy on a lead at all times, especially while they're developing, while they're still in a real bitey mode, because you don't want your kids to be scared of your pup. Your puppy will bite them, your kids run, puppy chases, now they've engaged in the game. So we want to try to discourage that as much as possible. Having them on the lead gives you that control, and you can manage it, and then you can reward behaviors that you like. Have a marker, start charging